Scene 4. It is early the following morning.
Sweet, sweet baby.
There is a confusion of street cries, like a
Good
choral chant.
sweet child.
Stella is lying down in the bedroom. Her face is serene in the early morning sunlight. One hand rests on her belly, rounding slightly with the maternity. From the other dangles a book of coloured comics. Her eyes and lips, that almost narcotized tranquillity that is the faces of Eastern idols. The table is sloppy, with remains of breakfast and the debris of the preceding night, and Stanley's gaudy pyjamas lie across the threshold of the bathroom. The outside door is slightly ajar on a sky of summer brilliance. Blanche appears at this door. She has spent a sleepless night, and her appearance entirely contrasts with Stella's. She presses her knuckles nervously to her lips as she looks through the door before entering.
Stella?
Blanche utters a moan.
Baby, my baby sister.
Blanche, what is the matter with you?
He's left?
Stan? Yes.
Will he be back?
Oh, he's gone to get the car greased. Why?
Why? I've been half crazy, Stella. When I found out you'd been insane enough to come back in here after what happened, I started to rush in after you.
I'm glad you didn't.
What were you thinking of? Answer me. What? What?
Please, Blanche, sit down and stop yelling.
All right, Stella. I will repeat the question quietly now. How could you come back in this place last night? Why, you must have slept with him.
Blanche, I'd forgotten how excitable you are. You're making much too much fuss about this.
Am I?
Yes, you are, Blanche. I know how it must have seemed to you, and I'm awful sorry it had to happen. But it wasn't anything as serious as you seem to take it. In the first place, when men are drinking and playing poker, anything can happen. It's always a powder keg. He didn't know what he was doing. He was as good as a lamb when I came back, and he's really very, very ashamed of himself.
And that makes it all right?
No, it isn't all right for anybody to make such a terrible row, but people do sometimes. Stan has always smashed things. Why, on our wedding night, soon as we came in here, he snatched off one of my slippers and rushed about the place, smashing the light bulbs with it.
He did what?
He smashed all the light bulbs with the heel of my slipper.
And you
That's
let him? Didn't run, didn't scream?
I was sort of thrilled by it. Eunice and you had breakfast?
Do you suppose I wanted my breakfast?
There's some coffee left on the stove.
You're so matter of fact about it, Stella.
What other can I be? He's taken the radio to get it fixed. It didn't land on the pavement, so only one tube was smashed.
And you're standing there smiling.
What do you want me to do?
Pull yourself together and face the facts.
What are they, in your opinion?
In my opinion, you're married to a madman.
No.
Yes, you are. Your fix is worse than mine is. Only you're not being sensible about it. I'm going to do something, get hold of myself and make myself a new life.
Yes?
But you've given in, and that isn't right. You're not old. You can get out.
I'm not in anything I want to get out of.
What? Stella?
I said, I'm not in anything that I have a desire to get out of. Oh, look at the mess in this room. And those empty bottles. They went through 2 cases last night. He promised this morning that he was going to quit having these poker parties, but you know how long such a promise is going to keep. Oh well, it's his pleasure, like mine is movies and bridge. People have got to tolerate each other's habits, I guess.
I don't understand you. I don't understand your indifference. Is this a Chinese philosophy you've cultivated?
Is what? What?
This shuffling about and mumbling, one tube smashed, beer bottles, mess in the kitchen, as if nothing out of the ordinary has happened. Are you deliberately shaking that thing in my face?
No.
Stop it. Let go of that broom. I won't have you cleaning up for him.
Then who's going to do it? Are you?
I?
No, I didn't think so.
Oh, let me think. If only my mind would function. We've got to get hold of some money. That's the way out.
I guess that money is always nice to get hold of.
Listen to me. I have an idea of some kind. Do you remember Shep Huntley? Of course you remember Shep Huntley. I went out with him at college and I wore his pin for a while.
Well,
I ran into him last winter. I went to Miami during the Christmas holidays.
no.
Well, I did. I took the trip as an investment, thinking I'd meet someone with $1 million.
Did you?
Yes, I ran into Shep Huntley. I ran into him on Biscayne Boulevard on Christmas Eve, about dusk, getting into his car, a Cadillac convertible, must have been a block long.
I should think it would have been inconvenient in traffic.
You've heard of oil wells.
Oh, yes, remotely.
Well, he has them all over Texas. Texas is literally spouting gold into his pockets.
My.
And you know how indifferent I am to money. I think of money in terms of what it does for you, but he could do it. He certainly could do it.
Do what, Blanche?
Why set us up in a shop?
What kind of a shop?
Oh, a shop of some kind. He could do it with half what his wife throws away at the races.
He's married.
Honey, would I be here if the man weren't married? How do I get Western Union? Operator, Western Union.
That's a dial phone, honey.
I can't dial. I'm too.
Just dial O.
Oh?
Yes, O for operator.
Oh, give me a pencil. Where's a slip of paper? I gotta write it down first. The message, I mean. Darling Shep, sister and I in desperate situation.
I beg your pardon?
Sister and I in desperate situation. We'll explain details later. Would you be interested in? You never get anywhere with direct appeals.
Oh, don't be so ridiculous, darling.
But I'll think of something. I've got to think of something. Don't laugh at me, Stella. Please don't. I want you to look at the contents of my purse. Here's what's in it. 65 measly cents in coin of the realm.
Stanley doesn't give me a regular allowance. He likes to pay bills himself. But this morning he gave me $10 to smooth things over. You take 5 of it, Blanche, and I'll keep the rest.
Oh, no, Stella.
I know how it helps your morale, just having a little pocket money on you.
No, thank you. I'll take to the streets.
Oh, talk sense. How did you happen to get so low on funds?
Money just goes. It just goes places. Sometime today, I've got to get hold of a bromo.
I'll fix you on now.
Not yet. I've got to keep thinking.
I wish you'd just let things go, at least for a while.
Ella, I can't live with him. You can. He's your husband. But how could I stay here with him after last night, with just those curtains between us?
Blanche, you saw him at his worst last night.
On the contrary, I saw him at his best. What such a man has to offer is animal force, and he gave a wonderful exhibition of that. that the only way to live with such a man is to go to bed with him, and that's your job, not mine.
After you've rested a little, you'll see it's going to work out. You don't have to worry about anything while you're here. I mean, expenses.
I have to plan for us both, to get us both out.
You take it for granted that I am in something that I want to get out of?
I take it for granted that you still have sufficient memory of Belle Reve to find this place and these poker players impossible to live with.
Well, you're taking entirely too much for granted.
I can't believe you're in earnest.
No?
I understand how it happened, a little. You saw him in uniform, an officer, not here, but...
I'm not sure it would have made any difference where I saw him.
Now, don't say it was one of those mysterious electric things between people. If you do, I'll laugh in your face.
I am not going to say anything more at all about it.
All right, then don't.
But there are things that happen between a man and a woman in the dark that sort of make everything else seem unimportant.
What you are talking about is brutal desire. Just desire. The name of that rattletrap streetcar that bangs through the quarter, up one old narrow street and down another.
Haven't you ever ridden on that streetcar?
It brought me here, where I'm not wanted and where I'm ashamed to be.
Then don't you think your superior attitude is a bit out of place?
I'm not being or feeling at all superior, Stella. Believe me, I'm not. It's just this. This is how I look at it. A man like that is someone to go out with once, twice, 3 times when the devil is in you. But live with, have a child by?
I have told you I love him.
Then I tremble for you. I just tremble for you.
I can't help your trembling if you insist on trembling.
May I speak plainly?
Yes, do. Go ahead, as plainly as you want to.
Well, if you'll forgive me, he's common.
Why, yes, I suppose he is.
Suppose. You can't have forgotten that much of our bringing up, Stella, that you just suppose that any part of a gentleman's in his nature. Not one particle, no. Oh, if he was just ordinary, just plain, but good and wholesome. But no, there's something downright bestial about him. You're hating me saying this, aren't you?
Go on and say it all, Blanche.
He acts like an animal, has an animal's habits, eats like one, moves like one, talks like one. There's even something subhuman, something not quite to the stage of humanity yet. Yes, something ape-like about him, like one of those pictures I've seen in anthropological studies. Thousands and thousands of years have passed him right by, and there he is, Stanley Kowalski, survivor of the Stone Age, bearing the raw meat home from the kill in the jungle. And you here waiting for him. Maybe he'll strike you or maybe grunt and kiss you. That is, if kisses have been discovered yet. Night falls and the other apes gather there in the front of the cave, all grunting like him and swilling and gnawing and hulking. His poker night, you call it, this party of apes. Somebody growls, some creature snatches at something. The fight is on. God, maybe we are a long way from being made in God's image, but Stella, my sister, there has been some progress since then. Such things as art, as poetry and music, such things of new light have come into the world since then. And some kinds of people, some tenderer feelings have had some little beginning that we have got to make grow and cling to and hold as our flag in this dark march toward whatever it is we're approaching. Don't hang back with the brutes.
Another train passes outside. Stanley hesitates, licking his lips. Then suddenly he turns stealthily about and withdraws through front door. The women are still unaware of his presence. When the train has passed, he calls through the closed front door. Hey, Stella!
Stanley!
Stella,
Stella has gone to the front door. Stanley enters casually with his packages. Hey, Stella. Hey, Blanche back?
Yes, she's back.
Hey, hiya, Blanche.
You must have got under the car.
Ah, them damn mechanics at Fritz's don't know their ass from A. Stella has embraced him as the lights fade away with a lingering brightness on their embrace. The music of blue piano and trumpet and drums is heard. End of scene 4.